The resolution. Resolution 8847. C passed at 1447 Galactic Standard Time. 47 votes in favor. 0 opposed. Complete Council unity on systematic information control regarding humanity. Chancellor Morceth read the official summary to assembled delegates. Whereas accurate historical information regarding human military encounters has generated anxiety among member populations, and whereas unrestricted access to said information may compromise security and diplomatic relations, the Galactic Council hereby authorizes comprehensive information management protocols. The euphemisms were diplomatic. The meaning was clear: erase humanity from public consciousness. Intelligence Director Cross had recommended the measure 3 months earlier. His logic was sound. Fear comes from knowledge. Control knowledge. Control fear. Human military performances had created mythology. Ships defeating superior forces. Soldiers refusing surrender in hopeless situations. Civilians fighting with improvised weapons. Every encounter reinforced dangerous narratives about human capabilities. Public perception of humanity is becoming detached from reality, Cross had argued. We need to manage information before myth replaces fact. The Council agreed unanimously. Implementation began within hours. Part 2. The Purge. Directive 8847. C. 1 reached libraries across Council space simultaneously. Priority. Maximum subject. Information management protocol. Human materials action required. Immediate removal of specified content. The lists were comprehensive. Battle footage. Military analysis. Witness testimonies. Cultural studies. Historical records mentioning human involvement in galactic affairs. Everything except basic diplomatic information. Treaty acknowledgements, contact protocols, embassy locations. Librarians complied, some reluctantly, recognizing censorship when they saw it. Others eagerly, believing they were protecting public welfare. Within 3 weeks, public databases were sanitized. Human history reduced to footnotes. Battle footage deleted. Analysis papers classified or destroyed. The Council monitored results carefully. Initial data looked promising. Searches for human-related materials declined 67% in the first week. Expected result, Cross reported. Remove materials. Remove interest. Morceth nodded approval. Continue monitoring. Report any anomalies. The anomalies appeared in week 4. Part 3. Curiosity. Search queries for humans increased 340% in month 1 post-purge. Network monitors flagged the pattern immediately. Something was wrong. Material had been removed. Interest should decline. Instead, it exploded. People are searching specifically for deleted content, Cross reported. They know something was removed. They want to know what and why. Morceth frowned. Temporary curiosity. It will fade when they realize the information is unavailable. It didn't fade. Underground networks emerged. File-sharing communities dedicated to preserving deleted materials. Users teaching each other archival recovery techniques. Bootleg copies of banned footage appearing on black markets. A single video, grainy combat footage from Kepler 442 showing human tactical brilliance, became the most traded file in galactic history. Market price, equivalent to 6 months' average salary. Why would anyone pay that much for historical footage? Morceth asked. Because it's forbidden, Cross answered. We made it valuable by restricting it. Basic economics, reduced supply, increased demand. But it was worse than economics. Forbidden knowledge carried implications. What requires hiding must be dangerous. What someone desperately conceals must be worth knowing. The Council's censorship became advertising. This information is so important they tried to erase it. Part 4. The Underground. Thesha Prime University. Student Dormitory 7. Room 342. Lyrasin inserted the data chip with trembling hands. 3 months' salary. Her food budget eliminated for a semester. All for this. The footage loaded. Combat recording. Timestamp. Battle of Kepler. 442. 47 years ago. Human forces. 3,000 soldiers. 12 light ships. Korvathi forces. 15,000 soldiers. 47 warships. Standard doctrine said humans should surrender. No hope of victory. Negotiation was logical. Humans attacked instead. Lyrisin watched, mesmerized. The humans didn't fight like any species she'd studied. They didn't follow standard tactical doctrine. They improvised constantly, adapted in real time, turned disadvantages into opportunities. She watched them use terrain Korvathi forces ignored. Watched them exploit psychological weaknesses in enemy command structure. Watched them win through sheer, innovative determination. "This is what they didn't want us to see," she whispered. Her roommate, Velkura, leaned closer. "Why would the council hide this?" "Because it's terrifying. Look at them. Outnumbered 5-1. Outgunned. They should lose. They win anyway." Velkura stared at the screen. "Do you think other deleted footage shows the same thing? Let's find out." They spend the night watching everything on the chip. Battle after battle. Humans defeating superior forces through tactics that shouldn't work. Civilians resisting occupations with improvised weapons. Soldiers refusing surrender in hopeless situations. Each video reinforced the message: humans were dangerous. Not because of superior technology or numbers. Because of mindset. Because they refused to accept defeat. "We need to show this to others," Lyrisin said. "Sharing forbidden materials is a criminal offense." "I know, but this is history. Real history. The council erased it. We can't let it stay erased." Within days, copies spread through the university. Students gathered in hidden locations, storage rooms, and used labs, private dormitories, to watch and discuss. Underground study groups emerged. Students organizing secret courses on the topic the council wouldn't teach: human military history. Enrollment required commitment, risk of academic discipline or criminal charges. Students joined anyway, because forbidden knowledge feels vital, because what someone desperately hides must be important. The censorship created exactly what it tried to prevent: obsessive interest in humanity. Part 5, The Cult. By month 6, Intelligence Director Cross faced a crisis worse than the original problem. Human-related contraband is now the most traded illegal material in council space, he reported to Morseth, surpassing weapons, banned drugs, and restricted military technology. Black market prices exceed prices for actual military intelligence. Morseth studied the data: trade volumes, price trends, geographic distribution. "We've created a market. Worse, we've created a movement. People don't just want the information. They believe we're hiding proof of human superiority." The censorship validates their suspicions. Underground networks had evolved into organized communities. Thousands of members across council space. Dedicated servers. Encrypted communications. Leadership structures. They called themselves preservationists, dedicated to maintaining accurate historical records the council tried to erase. Universities reported increasing problems. Students organizing protests demanding academic freedom to study human history. Secret societies dedicated to analyzing deleted materials. Faculty members secretly supporting student efforts. The Battle of Kepler. 442 footage had been analyzed frame by amateur military historians. Online forums discussed human tactical innovations. Witness testimonies from survivors were memorized and quoted like scripture. Humanity was achieving legendary status precisely because information about them was restricted. Recommendations? Morseth asked. Stricter enforcement, Cross said without confidence. Public examples. Arrests of prominent distributors. Harsher penalties. You don't sound convinced. Because I'm not. Every enforcement action generates more interest. Every arrest becomes a news story. Every burned data chip becomes proof of dangerous knowledge. We're feeding the beast, we're trying to starve. What's the alternative? Reverse the policy? Possibly. Release controlled information. Demystify humanity before legends completely replace facts. Morseth shook his head. The council won't approve reversal. It would mean admitting comprehensive failure. Then we continue enforcement and accept the consequences. They tried. Part 6, The Backfire. Public burnings of banned materials occurred in 6 major council capitals. Thousands of data chips, dozens of archive servers, physical documents, all destroyed in ceremonial events meant to demonstrate council authority. The media covered every burning extensively. Within hours, human history became the most searched term in galactic network history. Traffic to preservationist networks increased 800%. Black market prices tripled overnight. Each burning became advertisement. This information is so dangerous, they're burning it. Students organized protests, not violent. Humans had taught the galaxy that violence wasn't necessary, just persistent. Public demonstrations demanding access to restricted historical records. Academic freedom, they chanted. History is not censorship. Where are they hiding? The protests spread. Dozens of universities, then hundreds. Faculty members publicly supporting students despite career risks. Media attention intensified. What started as security measure was becoming political movement. And at the center of everything, humanity. A species most protesters had never met. A civilization maintaining strict isolation behind its borders. They'd become symbols of resistance against censorship precisely because the Council tried to erase them. Part 7. The Reckoning. 6 months after Resolution 8847, Chancellor Morceth called emergency council session. The information control measures have failed, he announced. Not just failed, they've created worse problems than we tried to solve. He displayed statistics. Search interest up 470%. Black market trade volumes. Underground network membership. University protests. Before the purge, Morceth continued. Humanity was a known quantity. Respected, somewhat feared, but understood within rational parameters. Now they're mythological. Unknown capabilities. Rumored powers. Legendary status, completely untethered from reality. Delegate Vresk interrupted. Surely increased enforcement. Makes it worse. Cross cut in. Every action we take to suppress information increases its perceived value. We've created a feedback loop. The harder we push, the more people resist. The more we hide, the more they believe something vital is being concealed. Silence in the chamber. Finally, Delegate Pelthora spoke. Are you suggesting we reverse the policy? I'm stating facts, Cross replied. The censorship transformed humans from competent adversary into civilizational bogeyman. We advertised their importance by trying to hide it. We validated every fear by acting afraid. What do they actually believe? Another delegate asked. The students. The protesters. What do they think we're hiding? Morceth pulled up survey data from intelligence assets embedded in preservationist networks. They believe humans possess capabilities we're desperate to conceal. Superior military technology, psychological warfare techniques, strategic innovations that threaten council dominance. Some believe humans can manipulate reality itself. That's absurd. Of course it is. But by erasing accurate information, we left a vacuum. Mythology filled it. Now we can't correct the myths without admitting the censorship was wrong. More silence. Recommendations. Morceth asked quietly. Cross took a breath. 3 options. First, continue current policy and accept that humanity will remain legendary. Second, reverse the policy, release controlled information, face political embarrassment, but regain narrative control. Third, do nothing and watch as underground movements potentially destabilize member governments. You didn't mention increasing enforcement, Vresk noted, because that's not an option. It's a guarantee of failure. The council debated for hours. No consensus emerged. Finally, Morceth called for vote. All in favor of reversing Resolution 8847C. 17 votes in favor. 30 opposed. The censorship would continue. Then we live with the consequences. Morceth said, we created a galaxy-wide fascination with humanity. They didn't attack us. They didn't threaten us. We made them legendary by trying to make them forgotten. He looked at his fellow council members. Remember this moment when you wonder how humanity achieved such influence while maintaining isolation. We gave them power by fearing them. We made them important by hiding them. We transformed them into myths by erasing their history. The censorship, he concluded, was the best advertising they could have received. 3 years later, human history courses appeared in universities across council space. Not officially sanctioned, still technically illegal, but no longer aggressively prosecuted. The council had learned, you cannot erase what people are determined to remember. Underground preservationist networks had grown so large that enforcement was impossible. Students outnumbered enforcement officers. Faculty members openly supported courses. So the council quietly stopped trying. Humanity remained behind their borders. Isolationist, non-threatening, but legendary. Not because of military action, not because of diplomatic maneuvering, because the Galactic Council tried to erase them from memory and accidentally made them unforgettable. Next episode, humans offered a ceasefire. Only one species accepted.